The following podcast is brought to you by RockLifeOffroad.com. Use code OUTTHETOP to get your savings. All right, guys. We're finally back. That's been the longest 2 weeks. I think I said we'd see you in a couple weeks, and, well, it's been closer to 4. So, we're back. Episode 26, November 28th, 2023. I am back once again in Rock Life Studios, and we have our buddy Dan with us. How have you been? It's been nuts up here. I imagine you all been wide open too.
Oh yeah, we have been swamped at work, trying to get everything prepped and get some stuff going for next year. Just trying to get a game plan on everything. But man, I'll tell you, the time change, it doesn't matter spring or fall. It just punches me in the gut. I don't know what it is, but it takes me about 2 or 3 weeks to recover from it. Either we gain an hour or we lose an hour. It doesn't matter. I'm still just, for a whirlwind, I can't figure out what's going on. I'm always tired, and then cold weather kicks in, so I'm slow. So it's just rough.
We went to during our little break. We went to Universal Studios one weekend, right. And that was time change weekend.
Oh,
yeah, it hit us right in the middle of our trip, and I'm like you, man. It's just from the next morning we got up, it just straight ass kicking, and I've just not recovered yet. We were talking about just before we got on here. Like in the last couple weeks, I've not posted much on YouTube, not been able to do many TikToks. And it's not because I've not been able to. One, the store has been really busy.
Right.
And that takes up a lot of time. But for whatever reason, ever since the time change, motivation has been zero.
Oh, yeah.
None. And it's like you do it, and it's what we were talking about. You do it, you do it, you do it. And then it's just like, man, I don't want to. I just don't want to. I don't want to do nothing.
Yeah. And it's like, if the motivation is there, the time's not.
Yeah.
And that was my whole deal. Like, my thought was I want to grow my social media a little bit more, especially like my Instagram. So I started posting every morning, Monday through Friday. I would do a post or like a sponsor shout out, anything race related. I would try to put content out there. And, for some people that may have been too much, and for some people it may not be enough. But I didn't want to be like down everybody's throat. So every morning, Monday through Friday, just a simple post. And I did that for a year straight. And then after I hit a year, I was just like, man, it's like gotten so busy that it's a lot to keep up with. And especially if you cross post from one platform to the other, and then you've got people that's engaging with your content and you don't have time to engage back, that kills your numbers. So it's like a never ending cycle of what do I need to do?
Well,
if that makes sense.
It is. And for me, as far as the YouTube content, which is what I've been focusing on the last 4 or 5 months. We were at Bikini Bottoms, had the Jeep rollover video. We posted that on TikTok, and it blew up on TikTok. We're at, I think, 900,000 views now. And just, it's still getting 10, 15,000 views a week,
right.
This far out. But that blew up. And so I felt the pressure from that to, oh man, let's jump on this while it's hot and let's
right.
try and post some more stuff. Well, some other videos took off, done good. But then you're trying to do it in 4 or 5 different places to get the most out of the traction. And if you're not careful, burnout quick.
Sure.
And that's
it's real.
Yeah, it is real. And so we've taken the last 3 or 4 weeks, I guess, to try and woo-saw a little bit and get back on track. So hopefully we'll be back on some sort of we had talked about it. We're still not going to do it every week this winter, but hopefully we'll get back on some sort of more regular programming, I guess you could say.
Right. Yeah. Because I mean, we even talked about this in the mid season of the race season, is what we could do to prepare ourselves this winter when we were racing and had a lot of downtime. And there are still some events going on. We'll talk about those later on in the show. But there's still stuff that we can get content on. But man, it's just like so much. It's just like you said, you just get burnt out on it, and sometimes it's hard to keep the ball rolling. But going to do the best we can for all our platforms and keep everybody up to date and entertained, and let them know that we're still here and kicking.
Yeah, we're going to get back at it. So keep an eye on the Out the Top YouTube, Dankar Racing YouTube. Those are going to be the main things for me. The Out the Top is the main thing for me, then TikTok after that. We're going to get back. I've got some videos. We were just talking. I've got some videos half done, half edited, and then burnout set in. And I was like, I just don't want to finish it. We're going to get back on track, get those done, get those out, get this out. And then we've got some more cool stuff. We're not done filming. We're going to go hit a couple more events this year. And so all that's going to come out, and we'll talk about those as well. So I guess we could get into the actual show now. So the first thing that happened after our last show was the Poppy Mountain Trail Fest. I got to go to that, spend the day, loaded up the old General. First time I'd had it out in forever. Drove it all the way. I don't know. I didn't drive it. Hauled it. All the way 3 hours to this race park. Poppy Mountain, I don't know how many trails are there, but that could be a cool place. And I guess It is a cool place because it's a music venue, festival place first. Don't know what kind of trails are there, but if they've got trails, and somebody enlighten us on this, I don't know, I didn't get a chance. That could be a cool place.
For sure.
They've got a bar, restaurants, music stages, all kinds of camping. And then the race hills, I took my General up there because I'm like, well, I don't know where the race hills are at. Maybe way out in the woods, like Indian Mountain or something.
Right. No,
I parked at the top, walked 20 foot, and I'm at the top of the race hills. But that was a good off-season race. Several of our guys from National Rock Race Association was there. Nathaniel Bell, Casey Howe, Daniel Callahan. Wyatt was supposed to be there. Wyatt Wilson.
Right.
He is the biggest procrastinator that I know. And Friday night at midnight, he's on Facebook posting, "Hey guys, does anybody have this $500 hub for my razor because mine's broke?" What have you been doing, buddy? I think that thing's gone now, though, isn't it? Didn't he sell that?
Yes, he did, and I don't know if I'm supposed to let the cat out of the bag, but he did sell that one, and I don't know if he's bought it yet, but he is wanting to get a newer, I believe it's a 4-seater stock machine.
I think he was getting a turbo.
He has the intention of selling the old 4-seater that he's got. So, and I know he's got some stuff in the works. He talked about slowing down with racing for next year, but he's got some stuff in the works, and I don't feel like we have seen the last of Tef Subject Racing as of yet.
No, you can't keep him away. He likes it too much. But I was sad he didn't get to make the trip. All in all, good day at Poppy Mountain. I really enjoyed getting to watch the rail buggies.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I grew up on. Before side-by-sides, we all had Baja bugs, or I say we, my parents and my parents' friends all had rail bugs and Baja bugs. That's what I rode in as a kid. Hadn't been around one much in the last several years. And those guys put on a pretty good show. I will say this. they done so. Okay, let me back up. I don't want to phrase this wrong.
Yeah, you got to be careful when it comes to talking about rail.
I don't want to phrase it wrong. They were very particular about the hills they ran. We had to do some side roads and some other things, and to appease them, they took a few bypasses. I don't think they necessarily needed to take.
Right.
But other than that, good show. Our old off-road Vixens buddy Rhonda Deaton come home with third.
Sweet.
Let's see. What else? Nathaniel Bell got the win in the side-by-sides. So this was it was a little too much, but it was also cool. So they actually had 4 hills. You got 2 runs on each hill. Your best time from each hill carried. And then it was a combined times. So, it was pretty neat. But, I mean, that's a lot of stress. 8 runs.
Right.
It did weed out a bunch of people. Jimmy Elam was there. He broke. Trying to think, man. There was several people. One hill, though. Listen, this is cool. So we got there that morning, and I got there right behind Nathaniel Bell, and me and him were walking down looking at the hills. And I walked up over to this one, and I'm like, man, there's a bunch of trash, what looked like, in the hill. And I was like, dude, that's not cool. Like, they'd get somebody's, like it was metal sticking up.
Yeah.
I was like, that gets somebody's tire. I said, can we do something and get some of this out? And some guy's like, nope. I was like, what do you mean? He said, you can't get it out because it's a Jeep. I said, what? So the name of the hill was Liberty Hill. And they had parked, I guess somebody had a very festive night, run their Jeep Liberty down this trail on the side of this hill, got stuck, blew it up, left it.
Whoa.
They dozed some dirt over it, filled the inside of the Jeep up with dirt, and just left it. And it's an obstacle now.
That's crazy. That is wild.
It was pretty neat. Like I said, when I first got there, you couldn't tell. Like, I seen like one little piece. I guess it would have been the back hatch.
Yeah.
It's kind of sticking up, and I seen a little tire, which turned out later was the spare tire on the Jeep. And then I seen a plug, like a taillight plug or something, sticking up out of the ground. I was like, man, that's kind of weird. But by the end of the day, the side-by-sides about had it completely uncovered. You could tell clear as a day, clear what it was. But I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, that's a pretty crazy obstacle. Like, we've seen concrete bridge beams put in the hill. We've seen concrete pipe. We've even seen like tractor tires. But a Jeep Liberty, that's new.
Yeah. A full blown, just parked it. And they just, left it. It was pretty neat.
That sounds like some Dex Browder shit. Like, yeah, we blew it up, just covered it up, don't mind it.
We'll if we cover it up, we'll know where it's at.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so moving on from Poppy Mountain, the next thing I guess that fell into the off-road world schedule would have been the Ultra 4 HAVASU event, which is their finals to set all their champions. Didn't get to watch any of it, honestly. But I did see the results posted online for the season. And I'm confused. And if anybody out there is listening in the Ultra 4 world, please drop us a comment, call in, text me, something. Let me know how this works because I'm lost. So if you look at the Ultra 4 seasons sheet, right? you'll have, and the way they done it, and what got me looking at it. So, say you had 20 people in a class for the season, right?
Right.
1 through 5 in their points, they would be shaded a different color than, say, these are just examples, 6 through 20. And then I got to looking, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then number 6 would have more points than number 2, but he would be 6th. And it makes no sense to me. Points are points. If you have more points than the man in front of you, you should be in front of them.
Correct.
But I did read somewhere along the lines, to be eligible for the championship in Ultra 4, you are required to run all the events.
I believe you're right.
I don't know. I don't know if it matters if I agree with that or not. But I would like for somebody to educate me a little bit and kind of give me a why.
I think things are changing as far as their point structures go. I know that their points, I guess how you collect points is not on their website at the moment. But what I do remember seeing at some point in time, and I'm thinking that this was for Ultra 4 USA, Ultra 4 Europe, first place was like 1,000 points.
Mm-hmm.
Second place, and don't quote me on this, but it was like 950 maybe, and then third place was like 900 maybe. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, it's in that ballpark. It's nines. Yeah, it's something like that.
I do know that at some point after third place, each position drops down. I think it was 5 points. So like third place would be 900. Well, fourth would be like 895. Fifth would be like 890. And then if there were like you had to compete so many laps or make so many laps or get so far in a race and hit so many miles, like that has something to do with it. And I do remember seeing something like you were saying, to be eligible for the championship, you had to have done Hammers, Legends of the Fall, and Havasu maybe, and 2 of the events. I don't what is that?
I don't know. Yeah.
Oh my. Okay, but I don't know. Hey, maybe I'm right. Maybe that's
happy birthday, Dan.
Yeah. I don't know what the hell just happened.
So I'm just for the people listening on the podcast, we're videoing this, and Dan just had birthday balloons go up behind his head.
I don't know if it was something I said or like a hand gesture. I'm just going to stick in my pocket and just quit.
It's that new iPhone update, man.
Yes, so. I don't know. But anyway, that was my take on it, and I don't know if I'm correct in that. But yeah, I'm with you. I would like to know.
I'd like to know. I'd like for it to be explained a little bit, because I in my personal opinion, if I've got more points than the guy in front of me, I'm in front of him.
Right.
I mean, that's just I don't know.
But I kind of like the structure of it also, because like if you DNF, you still get points. And if you DNF further along the line than the guy behind you, you get more points than him. So I like that, as in, just to think back of some of our past race experiences, if you DNF at the finish line or you DNF at the start line, it's just a DNF.
Yeah.
And I think with, us making it further in a course to obtain more points would probably have more incentive to go a little bit further in the course, if that makes sense.
It does. Well, I mean, just like I remember one time, Dirty Turtle, you taking your helmet off and trying to throw it across the finish line or your gloves or something to try and get it because you were right there.
Yeah, we flipped over like right in front of the timers.
Yeah, right there. And, in a case like that, it'd be nice to get, instead of 10 points, get at least 15, something. But I don't know how you police that. You'd have to put a marker on the course somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anywho, I just the whole season standings deal with Ultra 4 makes it so confusing. And maybe it's just for me because I don't pay enough attention to it.
Yeah. And from everybody that I've talked to, those guys are cool and understanding and welcoming. And I'm sure somebody will chime in. And I know we've got some Ultra 4 guys that listen to us. And
well, maybe we'll get one of them on here and they can help drop some knowledge.
Right, yeah.
Moving on from Ultra 4, but kind of in the same genre, I guess you could say. Did you see the motocross guy from the Baja 1000?
Oh, that is the coolest story.
I'm not going to try to say his name because I will butcher it. We're going to refer to him as 741X. So this dude, he's Dutch.
Mm-hmm.
Flew to the United States. I don't know if he lives in Australia, but flew from Australia to the United States. Bought a dirt bike off of Marketplace, which I think he had bought that prior to coming, and had some work done to it before he ever got here. But bought a dirt bike in, I think they said San Diego.
I think it was. I'd heard that it was like 1,000 miles away from wherever the start of the race was.
Well, yeah, it was at, of course, in the Baja 1000, you go south and drive north.
Right.
And, of course, San Diego would be above all of that. But he picked that bike up in San Diego, drove it to the start of the event.
Yeah.
Didn't have, like, bald tires. Didn't have the right safety gear. Didn't have the things needed for the race. The group of people down there got him some tires, got him some gear, got him the GPS locator or whatever that he needed. The dude takes off. No pit crew, no sponsorship, no spare parts, no nothing. And with the help of random pits along the way and people he doesn't know, never met, finishes the Ironman version of the Baja 1000, which, I mean, if anybody doesn't know, that means he done the entire race himself with zip ties holding the front tire together.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen a lot of stories about the Baja over my lifetime. I mean, that is just one of the biggest races in the world. I don't think I've ever seen as much coverage for one person as I have this kid.
Right. And dude, at the amount of DNFs for Baja, just to actually finish is a huge milestone.
Yeah, so it's kind of like hammers.
Right.
They just cut it off at some point.
Yeah.
At some point, they declare the race over, and you may still be racing, and you may finish, but technically you get a DNF.
Right.
And a lot of people that go to hammers, they got a DNF, but they will continue running until they cross the finish line, and then they consider that a finish.
Right.
This dude timed in, like he got a time. I want to say he was 6th or 7th overall. That's probably, I mean, no pre-running, no nothing. Never seen the course. It's just unreal.
Yeah, that's wild. I mean, it's like, what'd you do this weekend? Well, I flew to America.
I raced the Baja 1000 and I finished.
Yeah, it's like
by myself.
I want to know where the bike is now. Like that thing's probably.
It's roached, dude. It's got to be roached.
Yeah, it needs to be in a museum. We were talking about that earlier. Like, I don't know what brand of bike it was, but I'm telling you, that thing's wore out.
Whatever brand it is, if that company hasn't picked that kid up and given him a new bike, or if that's not in the works, then shame on you.
Right.
Because, I mean, literally, sight unseen, and drove it 1,000 miles to race it 1,000 miles.
Right.
That's just, I don't know, dude. That takes a set to even think about doing that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I wouldn't go to Baja right now with you.
No.
And try and race, and not look at the course.
Right. Yeah, like I saw, like that they've got like a stock class and a pro UTV class, and like, some of those guys are from that area that race, so they know that stuff like the back of their hand,
mm-hmm.
and they're running through the desert like 100 miles an hour.
Yeah,
and it's like to do that pretty much blind going in without any kind of seat time is just unreal.
No, there is no way. Kudos to that kid, man. It's I don't know. We've got requests out to his people, and maybe one of these days we'll get him on here and he can tell us the story. Dude, just totally impressive. I would love to go do that at some point. It would like just be that to me. That would be a bigger bucket list than Hammers.
Right. Yeah. For sure. And like any kind of adventure story like that, like I'm all up for hearing all the details. Like it's like the old guys. It's a movie. It's called Into the Wild, where he's just like, to hell with everybody's thinking. I'm just going to live off the land and just be a nomad and float wherever the wind blows me. And that kind of made me think about that when they were like, yeah, he flew over from overseas, bought a dirt bike, and raced the Baja 1000 and came in like top 10. Like that's the coolest story to ever tell somebody.
Yeah, and don't hold me to this. I think he was like in the top 1 or 2 positions until he started having issues with the front tire.
Right.
They pitted and had to drill holes I guess they drilled holes in the tire to hold it to the wheel.
Yeah.
Because they bent a wheel or something. Nobody would give him or he didn't ask, or nobody'd give him a front tire. So they just fixed what he had.
Right.
But dude, that's just cool. Cool story. Something, I mean, just something to strive for. To ever do something that cool would be awesome.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, so coming up this weekend, we got a couple different races going on in the area. I say in the area, close proximity in Tennessee. One's at Wheeling in the country. They're having a race, but the one we're really we're going to attend is the benefit race for Trip Pullen's family down at, I've never heard of this place. It's called Pretty Place Off-Road Park in Belvedere, Tennessee. Supposed to have several classes of side-by-sides, big bouncers. Racing starts at 9 a.m. on Saturday. Don't know how I feel about that because it's going to be cold, and that means I've got to get up about 4 a.m. to get down there. I don't know. It's going for a good cause, though. Tripp's wife had been sick. We've known this for a while, and so they threw this benefit together for their family. Unfortunately, she did pass away last week, so that makes this event, I guess, even more important.
Right.
And so there's going to be a lot of people there. I hope, and if he doesn't come, that is 100% understandable too. I hope Tripp can make it.
Right.
Would love to see him, but if he's not there, it doesn't matter. We're still going to have try and raise as much money as we can to help support them. Tripp has been around this sport for a long time. $80 hill.
That's it. That's the first time I ever met Tripp. RBD. That was
you there?
I was there.
Was you there?
I was there.
Oh.
I don't. It was two side by sides. I don't remember who they were, but that's it. It was the hill's called Los Primos at Morris Mountain Off Road Park.
$80 hill.
That's it.
Look it up, guys. It's on YouTube. It's on Facebook. I think it was Mad Ram, or might have been Busted Knuckle. I think it was Mad Ram though. Trip runs this hill in a Razor or whatever. Thinks he's going to win a big bunch of money. Come to find out, they were racing for $80. He was unhappy. But that was my introduction to Trip on the internet. I didn't get to meet him until a few years later. But he's always been super, super helpful to me, super good to us. You know, we started running, I guess we run our first event with Pro Rock in probably, I guess my first Pro Rock event would have been Race to Riches 2.
Yeah.
And that was my meeting Trip. And if you've never met a personality in your life, I mean, that guy is full of it.
Oh, yeah.
He is the life of the party. Never seen him drink a drop.
No.
But he is the life of the party wherever he's at. You go to these Pro Rock races years ago, and him and Joey, you know, I'll give them this. They worked wide open from daylight to dark every day and never lost any enthusiasm about anything ever.
That's right.
So I don't know. Be a good event. Hopefully you guys, I think there's going to be a good crowd. I think it's going to be a big crowd. We're going to try and get some video. We may try and talk to a few people while we're down there. Something to put on towards the next episode. I don't think you're not racing, but I think you guys are going to try and come up too, right?
Yeah, I've got some issues going on with the buggy that's going to keep us from participating, but we will there because, like you know, Trip and I go back like Cadillac seats. Love the old boy to death, so we're going to go and show our support.
I hate it. Hate it for him and his family. Life isn't fair.
That's right.
But all we can do as outsiders is try and give them our support the best we can. And this is the way our community knows how to do that. You don't have to say nothing. You don't have to do nothing. Just show up and enjoy yourself. Have a great day. And that's all they need.
That's right.
Have you made up your mind? Are you going to PRI?
Not 100% sure yet. We are registered.
Ooh.
Or looking for rooms.
Mm.
It went from me looking at local hotels like $100 a night to $300 a night.
Well, yeah.
So I was like, yeah, we should have thought about this a lot earlier.
It wouldn't have mattered.
But
them hotel people, they know when stuff's going on.
Oh yeah, they ain't idiots.
They gouge you any chance they get.
But she's looking at. I guess Jody had found a condo. That's like $100 a night. So I think we'll probably end up doing something like that. This close by.
It ought to be a good time. I've always wanted to go.
Yeah.
In the spring, made plans to go.
Yeah.
Just my problem is when I make a plan in my head, if I don't do something to cement it, like get a room or get a ticket, it'll never get done.
Yeah. Well, it was like $40 for the annual deal or whatever that gets you in the show, and so like we've done that. So that's more of an incentive to go. But if I don't, I'm only out $40.
Yeah. I wanted to go. I've never been to something that I don't know. I guess that size. Never had a chance to go to SEMA. Never had a chance to go to PRI.
Yeah, I'll do SEMA one year, but this, from what I understand, when we were filling out all this paperwork via the internet, they have like classes that you can attend. Mm-hmm. So it's a big exhibition with like a big exhibit hall. And you also have like, it's a convention center. So you've got all these other little auditoriums, and each auditorium may do like racer marketing or like social media marketing, stuff like that. So I felt like it would be an opportunity to help me grow, I guess, my social media platforms and stuff like that, and meet some people, and who knows? It's just more or less about the experience, I guess.
Yeah, SEMA's more just automotive in general. PRI is motorsports.
Right. Focuses on the racing end of it.
Yeah. Hey, that'd be a good place if you've ever thought about getting a custom race suit.
Right. Yeah.
That would be the opportunity to do that, because they could get your measurements and everything there.
Yeah.
They run some really good deals on some of that stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited about that too, because that was kind of one thing I wanted to do for next year. Like, I've always had the plain black race suit, and when I first started, I had just a cheap race suit, but I had more in the patchwork on that first race suit than I did the actual race suit.
Oh, itself. I believe it.
So
yeah, even if you find a company up there that you like, they'll get your measurements and stuff, and you may not even have to buy it.
Right.
Like then. But they have that on file for you.
Yeah.
So if you come back a month or two later or whatever, you got it. But yeah, I think it'd be a good time to get to, mingle, see what's out there, especially for power sports industry. It'd be a good time. Wish we could go. Not going to be able to make it. We're going to do, like I said, we'll be at the Trips race next weekend, and then I guess PRI would be the next. Is it the next weekend after that?
Next weekend after that, and then as far as my schedule, we have Tony Ramos is doing a New Year's race. Not sure if we'll be racing at that, but we'll definitely be there hanging out.
Yeah, I don't think I think it's just the bounty stuff, the mud stuff. I don't think they're doing any hill climbs.
Right.
But I am going to try my best to make it down there for that. When we were down there in the spring, I didn't get to go watch any of that. Didn't really get to experience it, even though it was 200 yards from me. So I want to do my best to try and get down there, at least spend Friday night, maybe Saturday night down there, and then come home Sunday for New Year's. But I look forward to that. So in the meantime, we'll do. We'll have something here in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
At the very least, we're going to try and stay on a 2 week schedule as long as all the holidays. I don't have any idea what day Christmas falls on, or New Year's. So we're going to try and stay on a 2 week rotation here, 3 tops. So hang out with us. We will be doing some stuff all winter long. Check out, like I said, check out the YouTube channels. If you're not subscribed, hop over there, get subscribed. Got 4 or 5 videos that I'm going to try and get finished up this week, and possibly next week. And then we're going to be doing some more of our driver spotlight videos, the little shorter, where we take one driver from a certain event and just post those. We're going to try and get some more of those out. A lot of cool stuff in the works.
This podcast is brought to you by Out the Top Media. Check us out on YouTube. Just race recap videos.
We hit the reset button and we're ready to go.
Installs, product reviews, and much more.
Right on, man. Well, good to talk to you. Glad to be back to some sort of normalcy. And we'll see you in a day or two.
Right on.
Bye.